It's a hot one today. I'm gonna hike anyway. The sun is shining. Let nature light your way. Being out in nature, you can't help it. It feels so good and happy. Recharges the soul. It's refreshing. And you can't help it want to sing when you're out here in the woods. It's inspiring. That's what power nature does. Today, we're going to take a journey into these woods and experience some of this nature. Really nice to be out here experiencing this nature in the woods all around me, hiking the trails. It's also very important to be prepared when you're hiking these wild spaces, no matter how far you're going. And I feel there are some essential items that you should always take along with you on your hikes. And today I'm just out here for several hours, but if you have any tips or suggestions as to what to take along with you on your hikes, feel free to comment, because the more we can share, the more we can help each other stay safe and enjoy these wild spaces, because that's what it's all about. But you need to be prepared, and I can recommend before going into the wilderness to study the areas ahead of time. The parks, the preserves, the forests, their websites typically have maps, trail reports, all that kind of stuff. Research ahead of time. Download the maps to your GPSs, your smartphones. And if you can get any paper maps of the area, take those with you as well. More maps, the better. Make sure all your devices are charged ahead of time as well. And before you hike out into the wilderness, make sure you let people know where you're going to be, especially if you're going to be hiking alone. So in case an emergency does arise, people will know where you're at and how to reach you. So that's very important. And also make sure to bring plenty of fluids with you and keep hydrated. That's one of the most important things out here. So check the weather reports and the weather that day you're going to be out hiking. If it's multiple days, check the weather forecast and prepare accordingly. And you can get dehydrated very quickly. I've seen it happen. I've experienced it myself. It's very uncomfortable, and I don't want you to have to go through that. So I feel that over time, everybody is different, so you feel out your own body and how thirsty you get in certain areas and the climate you're hiking in. But take your time and adjust, get comfortable with nature, and more you'll get comfortable and confident. And you'll know how much water and fluids to bring with you. And also, besides water, bring some drink that has some sugar in it, perhaps a soda even. Just, it's important to have some kind of sugar with you. Bring a snack, some protein bars, things like that. This way you have some energy out here in the woods. If you start to feel depleted when you're miles out in the wilderness, it can be also very uncomfortable. So fruits, snacks, protein, water, something with sugar in it, all these things can help you get a boost of energy out here in the woods. It's very important. And I mentioned about using GPS and smart devices, and it's not essential to always rely on that, but it's an important tool to use. But I recommend to use your maps, paper maps that you have, but if you're going to use your GPS, always have your chargers with you. So this is a Mophie, and I always carry a few of these with me because these can drain out. If you're charging your device, you have a spare backup you can use. Also, these cords are often used to charge up your devices. So you're out here on the go, you need to charge up your GPS, you can just plug this right in, back to 100%. That being said, these cords can fail, so it's important to carry multiple cords with you if you can. There's been several times I've been out in the woods and the cord has failed on me and I was unable to charge my device. Lesson learned, so I started bringing more cords. I'm actually getting pretty thirsty. Here we go, some water. These are at least 16 to 24 ounces, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. But I have a few of these with me, and even a couple Gatorades. Gatorades are good, and there's plenty of other brands similar, but they provide hydration along with some sugar. You can also get the ones that don't have sugar in it. It'll also keep you hydrated, but always bring water with you. And also, while I'm mentioning that, you can bring some kind of water filtration device with you. So if you find water in the surrounding creeks where you're at, you can filter that out. There's plenty of water where I'm at here in these swamps if I need to do that. Alright, so I have a machete here with me. Not only is this good for protection, perhaps, hopefully that never happens, but it's good for going through the woods. If there's overgrown areas I need to get through, so I have this with me, and this is good for multiple uses. I also have a survival knife and a Swiss Army knife, which has multiple tools on it, so that's very handy to have with you, things like that. Always essential in the wilderness, some toilet paper. I have a poncho with me. This helps me keep dry. It starts storming out in these areas, and they make various ponchos. So there's ones that are better quality than this, that are thicker, more durable. This is pretty good for what I'm doing currently. And I actually have a few of these, so I have a couple spare ponchos with me, because these can tear, but it's also good for multiple uses in the wilderness. You can sit on these, use them as a blanket, things like that. Let's see. One of the most important things to take with you is a medical kit of some kind. So you can make your own medical kit, but you can also buy a lot of medical kits at various stores where they're already pre-packed. I got this one, it's a travel one, and it has a lot of good things in here. Let's see here. So I even have, so for example, bandages, stuff for wound care, blisters. There's medical tape in here. Alcohol pads, all kinds of things like that. Some ibuprofen, aspirin. Always important to take a medical kit with you. And if you're hiking in the woods, you may get ticks on you, and this is good because this kit has something in here we can remove ticks with. So if you get a tick on you, just grab it, and you want to try to pull it out the best you can. But you can research different ways as far as removing ticks, but it's important to get the ticks off you as soon as you see it. Don't let it stay on you that long. But there's some stuff in here just for that situation, so it's important to take that with you. Also, a lot of these kits have, this is a wilderness and travel medicine guide, so a lot of tips in here. Comes in handy. I have an extra medical kit with more band-aids, tweezers, scissors, items like that. Let's see what else I got in here. Oh yeah, I got some lighters, Q-tips. I got some dental floss, which can be used for different things. So I'm wearing a bandana right now, but I carry at least 2 or 3 bandanas with me. These can be used for different things. If you get injured, it can be used as a tourniquet. You can tie up a wound, things like that. Multiple array of uses of these bandanas, so, and also helps keep your head protected when you're wearing them. It's important to wear sunglasses as well, especially in areas with a lot of sun. Keeps the UV rays out of your eyes. Carry sunscreen. Put that on before you go out. So this helps keep you protected from all the harmful UV rays. I have a few shoestrings in here. Yeah, so I got a few shoestrings which can be used, some rope, just different things that you may need to use one time when you're out hiking. You never know. I'm always adding to my pack. Here are some mosquito nets for your head. Check this out. This comes in handy if you have a lot of mosquitoes around. They have whole body ones too. So there you go. You put this on and it helps keep the bugs away from your face. So depending on your climate and where you're hiking, these can be very helpful, and they have ones, like I mentioned, for your whole body. Speaking of bugs and mosquitoes, so it's always important to bring some sort of bug spray with you. Whether it's natural, you can use off brands like that with DEET in it. I also suggest spraying your clothes, your hiking gear, with another brand called Prometheum. Don't spray that on your skin though, it's very toxic, but just put it on your clothes, your shoes, or your boots, because that helps definitely keep the ticks away. They don't like that stuff. But also can be very harmful to your body if it gets on your skin. So just spray your clothes with it, and then when you're done with your hike, keep all that stuff maybe away from the inside of your house, in a garage, and don't let your pets get around that kind of chemical. That being said, it's very useful in these areas as far as keeping bugs off of you. And you can not only use that stuff, you just spray it on there, it will just last for a few weeks, so that's good. You don't have to spray it a whole lot. So there's some tips on keeping the bugs away from you, and that generally helps with the mosquitoes and the ticks. I have a lot of deer flies here where I'm exploring, so those are usually a problem. And you can use various lotions as far as keeping those kinds of bugs away from you as well. And again, if you have any tips on that kind of stuff, feel free to comment. So checking my pack here, one of the most important things I didn't mention to bring with you is a compass. So I have a compass in there as well, along with my paper map, so I can always compare those two together. And I think that about covers it for now. I'm always adding to the pack if you have any other ideas or suggestions as to what I should bring along, and maybe mention what you take with you on your hikes. But no matter what, always be prepared, and I hope you found this helpful and informative. And the best thing is, get outside, enjoy nature the best you can. There's nothing like it. And the more prepared, the more comfortable you'll be, and the more confident. Keep at it. Take care, and I'll see you in the wilderness. A whistle is good to take with you as well. Now, I asked some of you what you may suggest on what is best to take with you along your hikes, and I saw some comments and I wanted to read a few of them here. They were great ideas. I always include a good quality emergency blanket, and not one of those really cheap thin ones that rip easily. Not only is it good to have to use in emergency situations, but I also use it to lay on the ground when I want to sit down for a break, eat lunch, etc. Good comment. Biodegradable wet wipes and skin so soft for mosquitoes, someone else commented. A good rain jacket and 3 liters of water, along with a good pair of waterproof hiking shoes. Sunscreen and bug spray are a must. Also, an emergency beacon. So this way, if you're lost, no matter where you're at in the world, you can be tracked down and rescued. Thank you all for the comments. Any more suggestions, feel free to let me know. Take care. Be safe.